Now, do you ever doubt yourself? I mean, when I ask this question at live event rooms, usually the hands go up pretty quickly. I mean, just the other day I was talking to a friend of mine and I asked him how his business plans were going. He actually said a surprising thing. He said, I haven't been putting too much effort into it because I believe if I did put a lot of effort, I still wouldn't be successful anyways. So I thought, wow, you can even stop yourself before you even begin. And another thing that stops people, especially in this industry, is what's known as guru-itis. It's where you look to the person perhaps on stage or that's written a book or is behind the camera and you think to yourself, what they've done isn't achievable for me. But a word of advice here, don't compare yourself to where someone is now, but compare yourself to where they started. So when we started, we didn't have a whole bunch of confidence. I didn't have a clear mission, vision, values. I wasn't born rich. I didn't have a silver spoon in my mouth. I mean, as an example, I actually came on a boat from Vietnam. But I'm perhaps like you are right now. I read all the books, thinking late at night, is this possible for me? I watched the YouTube videos with hope. I went to the seminars with hope. I did trial and error with a lot of frustration trying to figure it out myself. And I really hate to think that because you've got an unrealistic expectation of a perhaps smooth sailing ride that we had, which definitely isn't the case, that somehow stops you from even trying. So in this video, I'd like to step outside my comfort zone and share with you my personal story so that it can inspire you even if you've got a bumpy ride right about now. So if you were with me roughly 12 years ago, you would have found yourself working in IT. I went to University of Technology, Sydney, and I was working in IT at the same time. But I felt that there was something missing. And I would read a lot of personal development books, and they always used to say the same thing, do what you love, do what you love. And I used to think to myself, but really? I mean, how can you turn your back on like a stable income, and what else would I do? Until a friend lent me this book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. To cut a long story short, I read that book, it made sense. I decided to drop out of my current job, drop out of my IT career, despite thinking, what would my mum say? She'd probably have a heart attack. And I decided to do what I loved. And in the book, he said, if you want to start a business, you should start a business doing something you love. And the most important skill is the skill of sales. So I actually got a job selling Anthony Robbins seminars. And I was in business development for Universal Events as well and a few other companies. That's when I first met Benjamin J Harvey. And I remember walking to work one day on a Monday morning, and I really didn't want to go to work or face the week ahead. And I remember calling up Ben and saying, hey Ben, do you remember all of those talks we had while we were interstate working together at the same company? Do you want to have like a formal sit-down conversation to see if there's a possibility we could work together? And one thing led to another, and we started Authentic Education in November 2009. At first I went part-time, and after a while I decided to quit completely. And it was a whole new world. I mean, it was fun and exciting being in business for yourself, making your own decisions, working your hours that you wanted to. We had a lot of challenges to overcome. There was a lot of trial and error. And the first year went by really quickly. But the second year is when things started to get a little bit tougher. It's kind of like that part in business or in the gym membership where the excitement dies, but you still perhaps don't have any results yet. And I was finding myself working about 50 hours a week and not knowing what was actually going to happen, and comparing myself to friends that were in their corporate jobs making, $100,000 a year plus. And here I am working from my bedroom, also known as my home office, thinking, did I make the wrong or right decision? We had a lot of tough events. We didn't really have our products down pat. We didn't really have our presenting from stage and our marketing down pat as well. And I remember this one event at the Wesley Center that almost broke me. We had about 200 people in the room, which is phenomenal. But at the end of the night, only 2 people signed up. Now, it's not about the money entirely, but obviously if you want to keep your business going, you need that substance called money. And I remember we packed up the event. I was really disappointed. I couldn't hide it from my face. And Ben dropped me off at my place in Piedmont. And I was kind of leaning up against the light pole, and we were really silent. Nothing was really being said. But in my mind, I was thinking to myself, can I really do this? And for the first time, I started to not only doubt myself, but doubt Ben, my business partner. And just remember looking at him thinking, I don't know if this guy has what it takes. And I didn't want to be the pessimist. So in my mind, I thought to myself, one more time. I'll give this one more go at an event. But if we're going to give it one more go, I'm going to have to try something totally different. So I decided to drop my ego and stop thinking I knew it all, because I'd worked for all these companies and Anthony Robbins. And I started actually buying other people's products to do with marketing. And I started voraciously consuming this stuff. Like I bought Brett McFall's program, Armin Morin's Fast Facebook Ads Training, Frank Kern's Mass Control, the product launch formula by Jeff Walker. And I thought to myself, if I learned not one thing, but if I learn one recipe, a set of steps that's predictable, that can get a result every time, then it'll be worth it. And things started to really pick up from that point onwards. And in 2013, we were awarded a BRW Fast Starters Award. In 2015, a Fast 100 Award, just because I had a repeatable set of systems that I learnt from other people. And to this day, I still can't believe it, but I understand both sides now, what it's like to be really frustrated with your marketing and what it's like to see it predictable and bankable every month. And I'd love to share what I've learned over the years, which is my 7 different marketing funnels, the most predictable sequence of steps that you can use instantly to get a result in your business. And that's going to be at the upcoming one-day event, completely free, called Marketing Your Message. So if you want to see me go through live examples on stage, then all you have to do to learn more and book your free ticket is go to authenticeducation.com.au/message. If you're not in Australia, or if you can't make it for some reason and you want a whole bunch of free resources, over $400 worth of free ebooks and audios, all you got to do is go to authenticeducation.com.au/free. If I ever meet you in person, please come up and say hi as well. And until we meet again, just remember, you don't have to get it right. You just have to get it started. Thanks for watching.